Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting truly well informed. Today we're taking a deep dive really, into a city that's, well, it's popping up a lot on the tech map, Lisbon. Our starting point is this excerpt we have from the Portugal Tech Hub. It's called Lisbon's Growing Tech Ecosystem, What You Need to Know. Came out very recently, July 26, 2025. And it feels like, almost an invitation, a starting point. So our mission today is to unpack what even this kind of brief intro tells us, and maybe what it suggests about Lisbon's tech growth.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even that title, right? Lisbon's Growing Tech Ecosystem, What You Need to Know.
Yeah.
It definitely signals something dynamic, and it's aimed at a specific audience, people wanting to understand what's happening. And when it comes from a source named the Portugal Tech Hub, well, that tells you something too. They're positioning themselves as the place to go. It makes you ask, okay, beyond just saying it's growing, what is the concrete need-to-know information here?
Exactly. So, okay, let's jump in. Even from just this little bit, it mentions a pretty big surge in venture capital. We're talking over $500 million just in the last year. And it seems focused, right? Fintech and AI startups getting most of it. That seems like more than just, slow growth. It feels like a real shift. What's your take on that kind of number?
That figure, the $500 million, that's a really crucial piece of data right off the bat. It tells us this isn't just maybe a few companies doing well. It's fueled by significant outside investment, serious capital. And the focus you mentioned, fintech and AI, that's also key. It suggests Lisbon isn't just trying to be generally techie, but it's betting on specific areas, developing niches, trying to compete globally in those sectors. That kind of focused investment, it often points towards a maturing ecosystem, one that's attracting, the serious VCs, maybe even growing its own unicorns.
Unicorns, right. It's amazing how fast that can happen, isn't it? But it's not just the money, is it? The excerpt also talks about talent, a booming talent pool. Seems like a mixed skilled locals, yes, but also a lot of international tech people moving there. We hear about digital nomads choosing Lisbon for the lifestyle, sure, but also the actual opportunities seem to be growing too.
Yeah, the talent piece is absolutely fundamental, often overlooked, but critical. The investment dollars won't mean much long term if you don't have the skilled people to actually, build things and innovate. And mentioning both local and international talent is important. That's a good sign. A lot of emerging hubs, they struggle to keep their own talent, let alone attract others. Lisbon seems to be managing both, attracting and retaining this diverse, skilled workforce. And that usually comes down to a combination, right? Quality of life, maybe cost of living is still reasonable, plus real career paths opening up.
Right. And you mentioned quality of life. The source touches on that as well, that combination of, the culture, the climate, and yeah, probably still cheaper than London or Silicon Valley. That has to be a massive draw. How much do those sort of lifestyle things feed into the actual ecosystem, do you think, beyond just the pure economics?
Oh, immensely, especially now, with remote and hybrid work being so much more common. Look, a tech scene obviously needs the capital and it needs the talent. But the city's livability, that helps make it sticky. It turns it into a real destination. People aren't just looking for a job. They're looking to build a life somewhere they actually, enjoy living. But that does raise the classic question, doesn't it? As Lisbon's tech scene booms, how does it handle the side effects? Pressure on housing, infrastructure, making sure it stays affordable and attractive for the talent it needs. That's a tough balancing act. We see it in basically every successful tech hub.
That's a really fair point, a challenge to keep an eye on for sure. Okay, so just to kind of wrap up this initial deep dive, we've seen how even a short piece like this one from the Portugal Tech Hub can give us some real pointers. We're talking about Lisbon's growing tech ecosystem being fueled by serious money, attracting talent from all over, and using its lifestyle as a real asset.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is how a source like this functions. It's a signal. It's saying, hey, look over here. Things are happening. And knowing it's from the Portugal Tech Hub, published like yesterday, July 26, 2025, it tells you it's meant to be current, timely, and probably meant to connect you further. I mean, look, they even list contact info and email protected, U.S. phone number, +1 555-678-9101, even a physical address in California, 456 Neural Doctor, Silicon Square, CA 94016. It's basically saying we're the hub for information. Get in touch. It's a very deliberate invitation. And if you zoom out a bit, connect it to the bigger picture. Just the fact that this piece exists, even as an excerpt, it highlights this ongoing thing, right? New tech centers constantly emerging, and importantly, promoting themselves. It makes you wonder, how are all these different tech hubs around the world trying to signal their growth? What exactly are they inviting you to know? What's their angle?
Right. So thinking about that, What does this all mean for you listening right now? When you see a headline like Lisbon's growing tech ecosystem, what you need to know, what specifics jump out to you? What details would you want next to really feel like you understand that growth? Would it be, I don't know, company names, salary data, government incentives maybe? And how much does the sort of packaging influence you? Seeing things like social media links, Discord, Instagram, LinkedIn, GitHub, Facebook, or quick links for case studies or careers, does that change how you perceive the ecosystem itself? Lots to think about. Keep asking those questions and keep diving deep.